Chang, Director of IT, the Calgary TELUS Convention Center. Well, today it's more the challenge of getting people to stop doing this and actually looking at your content. So it's the integration of those two objects together, whether it's Twitter feeds on your social media on a wall, video wall, or people Instagramming their photos onto any digital signage you might have. That's really what I'm here to look at this year, right? How people are dealing with that. Because really, you could do the most incredible video, anything, installation, and people are still going to be doing this. Talk to all your stakeholders. Do your research before you begin. Understand who you're trying to market to, understand what you're trying to say to them, and understand that that may never come together. So every vendor can do almost everything here, it seems, but it's how do you target what you want to target, and how do you want to show it, and understand that you have very little time to capture people's attention. It's, especially for us in a building, you have anywhere between 4 to 6 seconds before they walk right past you. So how do you capture, again, your view? How do you capture that dwell time? How do you sell to a market that may never want to look at your content? Our push is never to do sales with our digital signage. It was to do education and wayfinding. So how do I find room 1? How do I find room 2? Especially in a building like ours where we have 2 separate buildings, which are very odd to navigate through. Even now, we still have issues with trying to get people from point A to point B, because in the end, they'd rather talk to somebody instead of actually looking at a sign. This morning, I sat in on a privacy seminar, which was incredible. Unfortunately, there's only very few people, but there's so many new privacy laws coming. So education itself here is key. If I didn't come here, I wouldn't know nearly as much as I do now, even from this morning. So I would find education plus actually being able to see all the different new technology. One of my favorite places is the innovation zone, just to go and look and see what up and coming things might be out there. And it may never fly, but it's just, the new and the really, really leading edge. Last year, it was an interesting conversation with a couple other people where they said that they were having a hard time talking to their IT departments about integrating digital signage into their corporate networks. So I said, okay, well, I'm in IT. I had the exact opposite problem where I had to drag our marketers kicking and screaming into the digital signage world. So, it's the same thing. It's really, communication, but reverse. So today, or I guess tomorrow, we're just going to be talking about, understanding your stakeholders, understand that their workload might be completely, full before you say, oh, here's something else. One thing that we always say, or at least I have, we're the IT department. If you can plug it in, we're responsible for it, and it just falls on our lap. Well, you can't do that with digital signage because, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's about your stakeholders and what are you trying to do. In IT, most of us aren't that creative. You need that marketing component to be that creative side, and if you continually say, oh, we're just going to leave the same content on, you're not going to get the end result. We have a guest services desk, and sometimes it gets swamped with people. And it's not very scientific, but just by eyeballing how many people are going to the desk as opposed to just going and finding their own way. Because our own digital signage is based on wayfinding. We've added more features, such as, we've added a video wall, and partially that was for our 40th anniversary of the convention center. But we've discovered that people like seeing themselves. So the last few conferences, the large ones, we've cooperated with their photographers and put their content up on the screens almost real time. And we're really just scratching the surface of what we do here, because you come to Las Vegas and you see so much more digital signage than what we have in Canada in any of our sites. The Digital Signage Expo, simply amazing.